for joining this part of the session. So my name is Orsi, and I'm here to speak from the side of the sales department, so from my company, which is Faber Cylinders. And today, we'll be glad to share with you our experience in the field of the high compression systems and explain our new modular solutions. So for doing so, I will start from just a brief look into the hydrogen supply chains. So for the green hydrogen, we started, of course, for the productions and then direct injecting the hydrogen into the piping systems, or otherwise the distribution through the virtual pipelines until the final users. So our company is involved different stage along these supply chains. We have tanks for the forklifts and trucks, so for the final usage. We have cylinders for the virtual pipelines, so for trailers and MGCs. But in this case, I'm going to focus on the compressed hydrogen fixer systems. So we have receiving, of course, from the markets requests regarding which is the properties they are looking for in these compression systems. And at present, for now, they wanted to have reduced footprints, and in order to have much, high concentration and energy density. Of course, the first requirement is safety. This is the first one. From the certifications point of view, up to, of course, to the performance of the connections that we have in our storage systems. The third one is to have systems that are ready for installations, conditions. And of course, we are still speaking about a market that is in development. So there is a lot of customizations. Almost each project got your own, let's say, design. But if we have to give a look about what is the market going to ask in the future, we are all waiting for this exponential growth of the request of the hydrogen and, of course, the building of the hydrogen net that can support this new economy. This is going to happen, then the consequences from the side of the compression systems is that we're going to need a large numbers of compression systems. They're going to be fast in the productions and, of course, in the delivery, so immediately needed on site, and, of course, easy to install and to transport when it is needed. So our company is working in these directions based on the fact that we have already in operation since 1972 in the high compression gas business. We are producing type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4 cylinders, so the full range, going from steel cylinders up to fully composite cylinders. Our main market is clean energy, so CNG and hydrogen, although, of course, we are active also in other sectors, like technical gases and scuba diving. And our main market is outside our base, so export share is more than 75%. But our production is exclusively based in Italy, in the Northeast. The strongest part of our company are the internal R&D, testing and labs and development, which are helping us also in, of course, increasing our portfolio from point of view of the cylinders, but also supporting our assembly line that we are developing for getting these modular solutions. So from the point of view of the internal laboratories, we have large capabilities to researching materials, so from the base. So test on materials not only required by certification of the cylinders, but also like permeations and fatigues, for example. We have testing on the cylinders, so penetration test, bonfire test. And in the last years, we invested a lot of efforts to improve our facilities, also for testing specifically for hydrogen. That means hydrogen cycling test for connections, where we can check and investigate deeply which is the best connections at which pressure levels of cyclings to be approved in our and integrated into our storage systems. But we also have new facility, for example, for bonfires, verticals, and horizontal testing. So all this effort into the R&D gave us the opportunity to be assigned in the last 1.5 years of 5 European and national funded projects. For example, we are part of the North Adriatic Hydrogen Valley, which is a project involving 3 countries. There is Italy involved, there is Slovenia, and there is Croatia. The idea is to simulate in these interregions a real hydrogen economies where we are sharing more than 20% of the hydrogen that is locally produced. And Faber role in this case is to develop a new hydrogen cylinders for the virtual pipeline for the transportations of the hydrogen. The second European funded project is the H2REF, which is alternative technology for compression of hydrogen for users that goes at 350 bar. So that means that we are fully skipping the medium pressure storage, and we are going for the direct filling, also saving a lot of energy during this process. In this case, Faber is involved into the designing of the composite accumulator shells that is holding the core of the technology. And the third project is the Faber project, which is developing a new kind of steels with high mechanical properties, but still good properties against embrittlement for hydrogen that can allow us to have cylinders with high performance, but very light. In this case, Faber is involved at two different stages. We are testing the materials, but we are also realizing the prototype cylinders on a smaller scale to be tested before getting to the real cylinders for the applications. So as you can see, all these three European projects are very different one from each others. And this is possible because we have a really wide knowledge on all the different types of cylinders. So we can propose, and we are proposing on the market, the classical type 1 cylinders, so the full metal, that are suitable, for example, for fixed applications or lower pressures, in this case, if you want to move them. But if you need to have lighter cylinders, so to go to higher pressure, we can realize type 2 cylinders, where we are using practically the type 1 becomes the liner of the type 2 cylinders, but you are using carbon fibers along the cylindrical part of the body to increase, of course, make lighter or otherwise increase the pressures. If you need even further lighter cylinders for trailers, you can go to type 3 cylinders. There you are expanding the presence of the carbon fibers also around the shoulders of the cylinders. Or you can skip totally a different technology and you go to type 4 cylinders, where you replace the steel liners to a plastic liners. The cylinders is, of course, much lighter in this case. There is a much higher use of carbon fibers to compensate, of course, to withstand the pressures. But Faber is proposing these cylinders on the market, but it's also realizing in-house and selling racks, so for vehicles, or otherwise buffers, so high-pressure storage. And this is, of course, what I'm going to go deep into. So in our systems, the core remains the cylinders. We have high-pressure storage at two different pressure levels. It's the medium pressure, it's 550 bars, where the core is a type 1 cylinders that can go up to a volume of 83 liters and a service pressure of 550 bar. It's available, approved in Europe, but in other countries like Canada and US. But we have, of course, when you're moving to higher pressures, we are going to a type 2 cylinders, up to a volume of 72 liters and a pressure up to 1,100 bars, which is also, of course, available in approval in different countries. So we are using these base cylinders to group them together and to realize different volumes of storage. We can get to the medium pressures from a storage of 10 kg up to 79 kg for a modular unit, which can be vertical and horizontal. And we can go from 10 kg to 107 kg in a 1,100 storage. This is available both in PED or ASME, depending, of course, on the countries. But as you have seen, or I have, let's say, pictures here before, the variety of the storage system is quite large. In order to make it more, let's say, also cost competitive, we've been using our R&D's expertise to design modular solutions where we are using, first of all, our knowledge and our internal technical lab to testing the different internal neck thread. So we are suggesting, based on the level of pressure that the customer is requesting, which is the best, let's say, fitting solutions to give more reliable and safety in our systems. The second point, our R&D has developed like a specific collectors to reduce as far as possible what is called the potential leak point, which is all the connections that you have among the cylinders in a storage systems. And of course, we have still to consider that the market is not mature yet. So we've left in our modular solutions the possibility to the customer to decide some of the features of our systems. So, for example, the presence of fire resistance panels, the size of the storage that can go from 4 cylinders to 28 cylinders, so from different kg of hydrogen, and the PNID, so the presence of different components. So if we get back to the, let's say, it's one of the initial slides, already Faber is producing on the market and proposing systems with reduced footprint. We have already these systems that has been tested and certified and delivery ready for the installations. And of course, we have a variety in our portfolio with the customizations. But what we wanted to show is that Faber is also ready for what is coming in the next futures. And so with our modular solutions, we have optimized the supply chain in order to have a lower warehouse, faster delivery of the components, and faster arrival at the end of the production change. So that will mean that we are ready to increase our numbers of compressed hydrogen storage systems deliverable on our assembly line. They will make, of course, the deliveries to the customers also faster and reliable. And the systems is designed to be still let's say, it's movable on a normal transportation. So you don't need you need a crane or you need a forklift to take it off, but you don't need the special transportations. And it's been delivered completely ready for the installations fixed on site. So our modular systems is based on our Faber knowledge that has been developing in the last 10 years into the hydrogen market, where we delivered worldwide more than 400 of hydrogen storage systems between the pressure of 550 and 1,000 bar, and more than 10,000 of cylinders at the same, let's say, level of pressures. So with this, let's say, I hope that I have interested you into our modular solutions, and you are more than welcome to meet us. We have the stand at the initial of the exhibitions at A48, and you're more than welcome to come, so we will be happy to answer all the questions for that. Thank you for your attention.